The little girl had secretly watched her grandfather teach her younger brother to play the suona since she was young. With her exceptional musical talent, she could instantly hear in the suona all kinds of bird calls hidden within the sound. But when she wanted to try it herself, she was stopped by her father. Because among the nobles, there was a saying that women were not allowed to learn the suona because their lung capacity wasn't enough, and they simply couldn't produce its sound. From then on, once a woman was found learning the suona, she would face severe punishment under family rules. But the girl refused to obey the family's rules. She immediately argued back at her father, saying bluntly that women were no worse than men, and that as long as she wanted to, she could definitely do even better. Seeing his stubborn daughter, her father decided to give her a chance. He then brought her to the training grounds, pointed at a candle 2 meters away, and said that as long as she stood on one side of the wooden board and blew out the candle from afar, he would no longer stop her from learning the suona. Seeing that, the girl immediately blew toward the candle, but even using all her strength, she couldn't blow it out. Seeing her father's disappointed expression, she still refused to give up. But from that day on, the girl practiced blowing out the candle every day, yet she was never able to succeed until 12 years later, when the family decided to choose the next heir. But her younger brother, who lacked real ability, refused to give up the chance to become the family head. He immediately dragged the girl to the ancestral hall and used her secretly learning the suona as an excuse to threaten her into playing the suona outside the door during his test, so she could play it from outside, helping him pass the test and become the heir. Thinking about the punishment, having both hands cut off, the girl had no choice but to agree. But just as she finished playing the first section, she was interrupted by 2 people who suddenly appeared. At this moment, her brother had also been discovered by the people in the ancestral hall. Seeing the girl show no sign of repentance, their grandfather, the family head, immediately ordered her seized and wanted to punish her according to family rules, but was stopped by his son. He stated plainly that he failed to stop her from learning, and if someone must be punished, then let him take it instead. Seeing this, the family head accused him of shielding a woman and ordered 100 strikes with wooden rods. But the man's sincere attitude made the family head decide to give him another chance. He then threw a dagger in front of the man and said directly that if he cut the girl's tendons, he would forgive him. Otherwise, he would suffer the same punishment. Seeing this, the man immediately picked up the dagger, not to harm the girl, but to cut through the ropes binding her. Facing the family head's questioning, the man stated immediately that the girl was his daughter, and he could not let her get hurt. He said that if they must punish someone, he was willing to take her place, or he would leave the family with her. But just as the 2 stepped out the door, they heard a familiar voice. It was the family head's younger brother, Jack, who had left the family 20 years ago for studying Western instruments, and his purpose today was to challenge a competition between Western instruments and traditional ones. If the family head lost, he would not only give up his position, but also be forbidden from ever playing the suona again.